Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser himself joins us live now. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on here. Before we get to your bill and the details within it, can you talk about this incident, walk the viewers through it? Again, we've been reporting on the rise in crime there in D.C., specifically in regards to auto theft and, again, vandalization. Can you walk us through what happened to you?
Sure, Sean. Hi, Emma. Yeah, it was simply another result of this, I just call ideology of appeasement that emanates from the Biden White House and emanates right on down through, frankly, most of the Democrat Party. We're seeing it in our streets. We're seeing it at the border. We're seeing it in the Ukraine, and we're seeing it in Gaza. How we are making the victim the guilty party and the criminal we have sympathy for. And it's exactly what's occurring in Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia, and New York, and other places. Crime is up. Armed robberies are up 60% in D.C. Carjackings are up 104%. Car thefts are up 100%, just from last year. And last year was one of the worst on record. What happened to me very simply, at 7:15 in the morning, Sean, unfortunately, 15 minutes prior, I was jogging by. My car got broken into, a bunch of things got stolen. And then when I come back into my office, though, we start having some conversations about it. And it turns out that 3 of my staff in the last 3 years, 2.5 years, were robbed at gunpoint. 3 of my 8, calling around to other offices, same sort of story. Guests don't want to come in. And lo and behold, what a surprise, there's always a cause and effect. Washington, D.C. defunded the police by $100 million. That was 1/6 of their budget. They're down 473 officers. It's the lowest level of officers since 1970, a far different population and far different other circumstances. So again, it's a cause and effect issue. Defunding and the prosecutors that you bring up. We have prosecutors that are defense attorneys. They sympathize with the criminals. They're paid for, and this is legit, by the George Soroses of the world. And in some cases, they are prosecuting in the neighborhood of 40, even 35% of those being arrested. My bill will defund those. Let's use the defunding against them who don't prosecute at least 67%. So only 2/3 of those who are arrested should be prosecuted, or you don't get funding. And lastly, the cities that do that, like San Diego, for instance, their crime rate is 1/4, 1/6 of what it is in same-size cities throughout the nation. So It can work.
Absolutely. Essentially ensuring that there would be punishment for a crime. Really unfortunate, by the way, to hear about what your staffers went through, and now obviously what you've experienced firsthand. And you know, we've heard this anecdote before that it's gone beyond, you know, the residents of D.C. It has reached lawmakers. With your bill, any indication you could get bipartisan support on this one?
I'm counting on it, and it's one of these cases that those that don't support it, I'm going to illuminate to the best of my ability, because anyone who is not for enforcing the laws that are on the books is simply wrong, and I think engaged in unlawful actions themselves. And that leads right into Mayorkas. That's why I support an impeachment of Mayorkas, our Secretary of Homeland Security. I mean, he's not enforcing the laws on the books. If prosecutors don't enforce the federal and state laws on the books, they are guilty, in my view, of being unlawful and yes, in fact, breaking the law. So hopefully Democrats can recognize that because of the disasters that exist. You know, it's not just Republicans getting mugged and getting their cars hijacked. We've had Henry Cuellar. We had a member in Pennsylvania just last year, right outside of Philadelphia, get their car hijacked. So we and stolen.
Right.
So yes, this should certainly be a bipartisan effort.
Well, we'll continue to watch that and follow how far this bill does go. Again, affecting both sides of the aisle, and again, most notably here, everyday Americans as well. We've seen this play out in major cities. Congressman Dan Meuser joining us. Congressman, thank you.